Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Three Essential Questions. I'm Pam Myers with Pam Myers Social Media, and my co-host is Erica Yoakum with Virtual Personal Assistant. And we host the show every Thursday, and then we record it and we share it out on social media. And we ask the same three essential questions to every guest on the show. To see everyone's different take on it. And everybody usually has a few minutes to go over the questions, so it's not like a cold call or something. Where this morning, I'd like to welcome our guests, Renato and Michael, the owners of Sidewinders Bar and Grill, that now has a new location on Central, right?
Yes, so we are located at 4200 Central now.
Yeah, and did you you didn't change your name, but you go by? Help us to understand that.
Well, in order to differentiate between the two places, early on we took on S4200, which was Sidewinders 4200, and then we called the old place 8900. It helped when we were talking to staff and team members of where to meet up and what we were doing today and all of that stuff. And it just kind of turned into calling us S4200.
Yeah.
You know, Sidewinders has some good and some bad history, depending on what part of the population you are. And so we allow you to use either one.
Okay. Except if you're dyslexic like me and just having that 9 in there is the second number, I'd be constantly like, oh, is it 49 or 89 or what is? So our first question of the day is, what have you learned about yourselves and your business during this whole COVID situation? And I'm sure it's impacted you guys greatly, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think what we've learned, and it's more on a personal note, is how strong we are together. Things have been really tough. We were set up to be closed for a month, and we've now been closed for almost 6. And we are running, some patio service, but that's barely paying the staff to be on. But we're very lucky. Renato has a full-time job that's keeping us afloat. But we've learned that no matter what the issue is, together we can come up with the solution and make it work.
Yeah, and what I found, if you don't mind me adding to that a little bit, or just giving another answer to it too, was humbleness, because everybody, it doesn't matter who you are, is going to have a bad day. I mean, right now, bad days I think are more frequent than they were before. And like I'm waiting for a shipment to come in, and I got really upset, and I called somebody, and I was upset when I called them, but I turned around and I said, I don't mean to make this a bad day for us. We have enough bad days. I'm really sorry. I'm not upset with you. And just knowing and conveying the love to everybody else and saying, hey, look, it's time to be patient and humble with each other and love each other instead of always being angry and upset with each other.
Right. Yeah. I think, I think it's given the universe a chance to take a deep breath and calm down. And kind of, I don't know, Erica raising her eyebrows like, no, I don't agree with that.
Well, that's not, that's a whole nother, it's interesting. We live in a very divisive society right now, and everybody wants to go, well, if they, it doesn't matter what side of the political aisle or anything, it's I think what we're learning, something that I'm learning, is that we're figuring out that, just like you said, we're better together, and that means as a people, we're better together. We've got to stop doing this thing and figure out, okay, you know what? masks work. Great. Then everybody just make masks. You know, like in
Yeah.
the World War II, you know, like it was like, oh, this is what we need. Damn, we were on it. And everybody had more than enough of that. You know, that's what I keep waiting to see that kick in, but maybe in November.
Maybe. But you know, it's that better and kinder together, because the cycle starts with one person. You know, if we're better together as one, as a group, then the next group will be better together when we treat them as one group and treat them together. You know, rather than I'm upset with you. No, let's be kind and forthright and honest and say, how did this happen? You know, work together, better together.
And find their similarities to make it better.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Erica. It's your.
So, how have you guys responded to this situation? I mean, yeah, right. I mean, that's a big question, but.
It changes daily, and we make sure that we're staying as agile as we can be. We're taking mental breaks, where the two of us, before all this happened, my husband never watched TV, ever. Could not talk to you about any series growing up, could not talk to you, did not know what Charlie's Angels was, did not, you know, none of that. We take time to unwind by sitting, cuddling, having a little TV time, things that we can adjust the narrative rather than the narrative being fed to us, which is what's happening with social media. So,
and changing, knowing that we're going to change every day, and knowing that expectations are going to change every day. One thing I learned was, you know, there was a meme going around Facebook saying, oh, if you didn't do this during the pandemic, or if you didn't do this during quarantine. No. There is no if you didn't do this. It's that expectation of we're all having quarantine. We're all going through this together. That's an adjustment, you know, setting those expectations, knowing that expectations are going to change, and being nimble, being that and ability to have that nimbleness.
And it's not easy being nimble. You know, your thought process changes daily. Your actions change daily. What you have to, or what we've had to do, is remember who we are and where we come from, and what we want to provide to the world, and how that fits into the situation we are now.
And divides, any divides that were before the pandemic, we have to remember that those divides should not exist. We do whatever we can to not let those exist. Because there's always been a divide in our community. Oh, it's them, it's us. It's all of us together. All of us have to work together to make that change. So because we can't repeat the divisions, because we're not going to be together. Right. Otherwise, you know, we have to go back and just do it again. Everything has to be done again.
Or we won't literally be alive.
That's right.
That's I mean, this isn't a petty political squabble. This is life and death for some folks. So just basic understanding of science would help. But listening and understanding. Yeah, I agree with the taking the time out. That's tough. You know, when you're a small business owner, it's very tough to take. You know, you're like, I'm in the pool going, okay, and then next I'll do. And it's trying to be in the moment is really tough.
Yes, it is.
Always, right? So, Renato, what's your favorite new television show?
Oh, Charmed. I'm watching Charmed.
Oh, the old one or the new one?
The old one. And no, the new one. It must be the new one. It's the new one because they talk. Yeah, it's very relevant right now. So it must be the new one. I've watched the new Sabrina, the old Sabrina. I have watched the entire season of The Protector. I have watched Legacies. I have watched the Umbrella Academy. I have watched
Umbrella Academy.
Yes, I can't wait for the new season. It's coming soon
on the 31st.
I know. That's over here.
Yeah. So, Tell us, you had mentioned that Renato, I hope you don't mind my asking this, but
Sure.
has another job just to keep things afloat. Did you have to do that as a result of this situation happening, or?
No, I think it was I've always had it. I mean,
Okay.
even since before we bought the bar, somebody always has to be at the business, right? So Michael's the one who always is going to be at the business. Like he's designated as the head of the business. So he's got to stay at the business all the time. If I'm at the business all the time, it kind of drives each other crazy, actually. So we learned this a long time ago when we worked together, locally, worked at the same company. And it was like, oh no, we have to be separate. So, and that's how we've maintained.
Yeah, and when we worked at the same company locally before we bought the bar, he wasn't necessarily my boss, but he worked for my boss to make sure that we stayed in line and did what my boss wanted. So we learned early on how to communicate correctly. But yeah, with the bar, we've kind of split the duties, and we stay out of each other's responsibilities. He's in charge of all entertainment, and I only jump in when he needs help. Otherwise, I'm responsible for the operation of the kitchen and the bar.
Okay. So. Yeah, very cool. And now, how do you see yourselves coming out on the other side of this whole pandemic?
If there is another side. I was thinking about
if there is.
Yeah, that's true.
Right,
and
we thought this was going to be, like you said, we're going to be closed for a month.
Right.
But this is, this will be over in a couple of months.
No.
Yeah. My hope is we come together as a people, and we're able to not. I mean, labels are important to a point, but we're not labeling for a negative effect. We're labeling in order to better understand.
I like that.
I hope that's what we come out with this.
As a community.
Yeah.
As a community. And as business owners, I think we would like to come out of this. That's being honest, we'd like to come out of this. But it takes an entire community to help us come out of this.
Yeah.
And it also takes our other business partners to make sure that we're all working together to come out of this. Because otherwise it's,
yeah, and
what's going to happen? Who knows?
I'd like to think that the last 6 years of beating our heads against the wall and the last collective 100 years of work and savings wasn't a waste of time. So.
Right. Tell us how S49 is different from
S4200.
Oh, S4200. Sorry.
Is that dyslexia?
It's okay.
It's okay.
Well, see, you just said
Pam,
the
we love
9
you.
and it threw you off.
Right.
S4200 and so
right.
Right.
No wonder you have to be funny.
The differences between the two is we're a little more intimate now. The location, we lost about 160 square feet of usable space. However, the location is so much more intimate, so much more classy, so much and we started this before everything happened, of course. We chose this location to be able to do bar food. So it was still going to be the emphasis of it being a bar and entertainment. And then we found out we're not going to be able to open until the first of the year if we stay that model. So we readapted, and talking to my therapist, it's like, how the heck am I going to do this? We're going to introduce food, but we're an unproven product. And how do we make this happen? And she asked me, she's like, what do you do that nobody else in town does? And I'm like, I make a lot of Filipino food. And she's like, well, there you go. So we went through
chicken adobo,
pancit, liempo, lumpia.
Yes. Family recipe.
Yes, all of it's family recipe. Mom, mother-in-law, my mother-in-law, his mother, comes in once a week and tastes all the food to make sure it's authentic and
Oh,
isn't
yum.
being turned
Hilarious.
into Chinese food, which is easy to do with Filipino food. A couple
Mhm.
different missteps in your Chinese food now.
Bam, ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, then we took the 2 months to go through the licensing process to become a full-fledged restaurant.
Yeah.
So we got our licenses, we got our serving licenses, we got, luckily, in my vanity, I thought I could do the cooking all myself. Luckily, one of our friends for the past 6 years, was like, hey, I'm out of work with my job. You want me to come in and help you? And I'm like, great. They are now our kitchen manager and they run everything for us. And we've had some very dear friends who were put in situations that their places of business had closed down. So they came in and helped us organize, set up, put all the procedures in place,
Awesome.
get us to a place where we had to worry about making sure the sanitary was correct, making sure our service was correct. We didn't have to worry about the kitchen.
Yeah, you know, to me, it's, I'm going to put it in very gay man term, okay? A stage play versus a musical.
Right?
So we went from a stage play to a musical, you know? And quite honestly, that's a huge shift in philosophy and presentation.
Right.
Thought process, business process. How are you going to do it? How are you going to execute? Where is the customer service? Where is the customer experience? Everything from stage play to musical is the same thing as going from Sidewinders to Sidewinders Bar and Grill. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. And as every business owner goes through the struggle of realizing we can't do it all ourselves. You have to rely on other people to help you, because nothing happens with one person alone. You just can't achieve success that way.
Yep.
Anything else? Go ahead.
Well, not that I don't want all this to be over and just be back open and in good shape, but it's kind of been somewhat of a blessing. Now it's becoming an annoyance. Is that we opened in stages. Had we opened on March 20th, which was our
original
plan,
yeah,
we would have failed miserably.
Mm-hmm.
We were not as prepared as we thought we were. So it's been kind of nice opening everything in stages. And
well, and you know what was really nice about that was we received a letter from Celia,
yes,
saying, hey, you know, we should have this event, and we had to take a step back and say, you know what, we agree, and then we were locked down anyways, like 3 days later.
Right.
So you know, everybody was moving in that direction, and I think that was a blessing in disguise to be closed. To have to be closed and open in stages.
Yeah, and I know as part of our liquor license, we, you know, the community gets to voice there whether or not you could open or not. And we had 4 letters sent in that were pretty
scathing
and very judgmental of our culture. And comparing us to a couple clubs that used to be in the neighborhood many years ago, and how we were going to bring horrible things to their neighborhood.
Location, yeah.
And in response, I sent out a message to a few people asking for them to send letters of support. We ended up in less than 24 hours with 60 letters sent to the city.
Oh, yeah.
We read those letters, read some of them. We weren't privy to all of them, but some of them that copied us. And to know that we touched people in that way.
That we're not just a bar or nightclub. We're actually, it's a community institution that changing with the times and changing with what's required, but also supplies outlet, also supplies funding, supplies leadership to other people, you know, hope, spirituality, connections, community. It's that, and that was a change. during this time too, to realize that, oh, you know, we really are. That's what we really truly are.
And it's made me come to realize we're actually pretty essential. So we're doing everything we can
to remain
in existence.
And that's a change since COVID. That's a big change, because, you know, we're like, okay, we'll see if this works or not. But now it's like, no, this needs to work. Not because this is what we have to have. It's because this is what the community actually needs. So that was a big change in philosophy.
And when you say community, are you talking about the community of your neighborhood or the community, the LGBTQ community?
The latter.
The LGBTQ community. Right. And we, you know, I've had several people ask us, what type of bar are you? And we call ourselves a queer bar.
Yeah.
You know,
The
we call ourselves a queer bar. We're anything out of the heteronormative patriarchal society. We are, if you ever wondered where your place was, we're it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And that's what we've tried to gear ourselves.
Yep. Hence
I love
our
that.
emphasis. Yeah, hence our emphasis on international foods, international offerings, variety of offerings, variety shows. When we have our shows, it's not just one type represented, one type of food represented, one type of entertainer represented. It's everybody in every culture, every identity is welcome.
Awesome. And that's such a huge achievement, because we see around the country where gay bars or queer bars are just going away. They're not self-sufficient any longer in many locations. So it's very exciting and very important to have a location where people feel comfortable hanging out, right? In their, you know, with like kind.
Yeah, you could be. We have heteronormative couples that do come in because they're allies and they love us.
As an ally, I felt completely comfortable there. It wasn't like, you know, I walked in with, ooh, straight.
You might catch the gay.
Yeah, watch out.
I think I'm immune at this point. I've been part of the community for a long time. I think if I would have caught it, I would have, you know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to add? Like, where's your location now? Give us a landmark.
Yeah. Okay, where is 4200?
We're at the corner of Sierra and Central. We are 1 block east of the Social Club. We are
1 block west of O'Neill's.
So 1 block west of Washington.
Now I know where you are.
Yeah. We're the old Martini Grill. If you've been in Albuquerque for a while. Martini Grill was probably about 10, 15 years ago. But it was the start-off hangout for the queer community before they would take off and head to the clubs for the night.
And it's the southeast corner, so of Sierra and Central.
So is that
and what are your hours?
Nob Hill?
Right in Nob Hill. Yep, right in Nob Hill.
Thank you.
We right now our hours are a little more limited. We are only open from 5 to 9.
For patio
service. When our liquor comes,
we've been approved. We're just waiting
for the paperwork to actually arrive. But we'll stay open till 11, and then we'll adjust as the community shows interest.
Yeah, and they can do curbside pickup. Curbside pickup starts at 3 p.m. every day.
Yeah,
3 p.m.
And to see our menu, all you need to do is go to food.s4200abq.com and list our full menu. I think today it's actually being tweaked a little bit, but everything's there. Or you can call us.
It's 505-494-5673. I'm the numbers person.
Yeah. So
programmed into my phone. I don't need to, I don't need to know the actual digits.
Yeah. But please come out, say hi, order some food, have some fun on the patio, meet some new friends.
And we need support.
Yes.
We need support. I'm not going to be ashamed to say this. We need support.
Yeah.
at this,
Okay.
especially right now.
Just being able to pay staff is not enough. We also have overhead
Mm.
and bills. So,
Right. Right.
So
Yeah. Landlords still want to be paid, and
yes.
yes,
So does the electric company, the gas company, the
Yeah.
internet, and
Water.
Don't
the
blame
cash
them.
register.
yeah, the cash
Yeah.
register people. Oh, that one made me so
Anyway,
mad.
but yes, please do come out. 4200 Central.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much for being guests on the show today. Yeah, we love you both.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right.
Have
All
a good
right.
day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.